Don't be surprised if something happens to Munir in the next 24, maybe 72 hours. He says, radicalize Pakistan Army and the nation. The Pakistani Army officers, including Munir, were present and draped these people's bodies in the Pakistan national flag. Indian air attack through missiles, air, drones, 100% successful.
Yes.
All targets struck bang on the target. So this shows our technology and our professionalism on the armed forces. The turning point in history of Pakistan is now going to be this Pahalgam attack is the disaster of the army. Shattered, battered, low morale, their defensive capability gone, offensive capability gone. Army's image has taken a beating in their very own country, and today Pakistanis are not respected anywhere in the world, including in UAE and Saudi Arabia. Today they want Indian skilled labor.
Tensions continue to escalate between two nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan. Today, Pakistan tried to attack 15 cities across India, but the attempt was thwarted by the armed forces, and in retaliation, they responded by attacking Pakistan's missile defense system in Lahore, Sialkot and Rawalpindi. And I have with me Major General Sanjay Meston. He's a defense expert and somebody who's been closely tracking all the developments on this front. So thank you, sir, for joining us here. Viewers, tensions continue to escalate between two neighbors, nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan. And today in the newsroom, I have with me Major General Sanjay Meston. He's a defense expert, also former defense attaché at Afghanistan, and somebody who's been closely tracking all the developments on this front. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us here.
Thank you,
Now,
Ishita.
Thank you. Now, I want to begin by asking you, sir, I will get into the finer details of the attack that took place yesterday, the Operation Sindoor. But today we have a bigger news. Pakistan tried to target about 15 cities across India, and then that attempt was foiled by the Indian forces. And then we retaliated by targeting Sialkot in Lahore, in Rawalpindi. How do you look at these developments now?
Ishita, firstly, why did we do Operation Sindoor day before yesterday?
Because of the Pahalgam attack.
Yeah, so the purpose was very clear. It's not only because of Pahalgam attack, that is only a takeoff point.
Yes.
It is because for the last so many years, 35 years,
Yes.
Pakistan has been just doing acts of terrorism against India. And before that, it has been doing wars with us, right from 1948, 65, 71, Kargil.
Yes.
Why it changes strategy? The easiest option is low-cost war, that is
To
terrorism.
go through proxies.
That is terrorism, because conventional war, it knows it cannot fight with India. It will just get defeated the way 93,000 soldiers were captured in 1971
Yes.
war, and we created a country, Bangladesh. So therefore they resorted to this low cost option,
Yes.
war, that is terrorism, and this they have been doing it since last 35 years. Now I will not go how they started it, from where they got this manpower, that we will not talk about it, but to suffice it to say that it is that they resorted to this act of terrorism.
Yes.
35 years. And so many incidents have happened. Parliament attack, 26/11, so
Mumbai
many
attacks.
Innumerable.
Yes.
So India has an option, either tolerate it or now just defeat this terrorism. Everything has a threshold level, and this time the trigger point was Pahalgam attack. Because of the trigger point, the nation took a resolve that we will strike them. Now Pakistan's strategy failed. They did Pahalgam by targeting on this religious identity of people.
Yes.
And they felt this will divide the country into Hindu-Muslim rights. This was the strategy, and that is why Munir on his 16th April statement clearly stated Hindus and Muslims are separate.
Yes.
You know that speech. So this was to that extent, and therefore they want to destabilize India by terrorism and also by having internal rifts and divisions in the country on religious, communal basis.
Yes.
So they have been unsuccessful, and what was the end result? Kashmiris united.
Yes. They stood up against
all political
terror
parties
acts.
united. whole nation united, and therefore it gave a resolve to the Prime Minister of India that now we need to hit, and his speech and intent was very, very clear, and he gave the army the full intent, and he described the objectives, ki we will finish off the terrorists.
Correct.
So therefore, this is the reason that we did Operation Sindoor, and why Sindoor was named. Now we will not dwell on that. So since that was done, I think it was a fantastic operation. The intent was only targeting the terrorists.
Exactly.
Their infrastructure.
Measured approach, non-escalatory.
Very measured, but accurate, precise, with precision-oriented weapon system. And two things have emerged in that, or rather three things. One, Indian air attack through missiles, air, drones, 100% successful.
Yes.
All targets struck bang on the target. So this shows our technology and our professionalism on the armed forces. Number two, it reveals another thing. Pakistan's air defense systems totally failed.
Okay.
No detection, no...
Even when they knew this attack was coming.
They knew.
Yeah.
They knew something is happening. Total fail. Third, despite all that, the Pakistani Army officers, including Munir,
Yes.
were present
At the
and
funerals.
draped these people's bodies in the Pakistan national flag. So they have proved it to the world that they support terrorists.
Exactly.
So it was a successful operation. And since now you talked about yesterday, so Pakistan, very emotional statements and provocative statements, we will also retaliate at a time and choosing and all. So they could not hold their horses, and therefore they did whatever they did last evening or yesterday midnight, and they wanted to target 15 of our cities,
Exactly.
and which primarily were the military bases.
Yes.
Across the whole of line of control, whole of Punjab, Rajasthan, and right up to Gujarat, Bhuj.
Exactly.
Again they failed badly. Everything of theirs destroyed, and our integrated air command, control and air systems has totally, nullified their attack. So our, air defenses, multi-layered deployment, so they were targeted, and even some of the S-400s were used.
Yes.
So we have seen. So again a failure. Next, in this attack, then we resorted to the counter. So our aim was very clear: destroy their air defense capabilities.
Yes.
So at Lahore and all these stations you mentioned,
Sialkot and
all.
Rawalpindi.
So we sorted out, destroyed this thing. So as on date, if I put it bluntly, Pakistan's offensive capability has been decimated. That means they cannot launch an offensive.
Okay.
Offensive by air, by missiles, by drones. And even if they try, now the air will not try. Because imagine the plight of that fighter pilot JF-17 or aircraft, the Chinese aircraft, he will feel the moment I enter or even without entering, because our S-400 has got the range of 400 kilometers, his aircraft will be struck. So therefore, the aerial warfare, I would say, he lacks, is finished for him. Now coming on to the ground warfare. Ground warfare, you require aerial superiority.
Yes.
You require air cover. So therefore, ground will also now not. So I am making a very important statement. Offensive capabilities nullified. Coming on to his defensive capabilities, that too also nullified. We have destroyed a large number of these systems, HQ-16 and HQ-9 system. So therefore, what does it give India dividend? At our own sweet will, today, if we have to do a deep strike by Indian Air Force and with drones and with the missiles, we can go free holds.
The way for us is clear.
Clear. So now the consequence of this is that now Pakistan is totally threatened, shattered, battered. You imagine the plight of the army generals, and what will be the plight of Asim Munir?
Yes.
And
somebody was making so tall claims a few days before.
And what will be the plight of the politicians? You have seen some politicians even weeping in the parliament. Okay. So what does this prove? Now they are against Munir.
Yes, their own army.
Their own army. And army means top leadership.
Yes.
So don't be surprised if something happens to Munir in the next 24 to maybe 72 hours.
I think that's a very big statement
Yes,
coming in,
yes.
that, you know, something could happen
Because
to Asim Munir.
the country is collapsing, and why it's collapsing? Pakistani people, I would say, you see the videos and all are coming out there against.
Yes, they're not supporting
Some people said, यार ये जो हमला हो रहा था ये GHQ के ऊपर होना था. So the people and the even politicians, you know what Nawaz Sharif told his brother, हिंदुस्तान के साथ पंगा नहीं लेना.
Yes.
ले लिया पंगा, and now they're feeling, and now no one in the world is standing by them. So they are isolated. India has done strategic strangulation every way, diplomatically, politically, economically, Indus Water Treaty.
Financially, we reached out to IMF, ADB.
And last option was military. Now that also, in a very graded way, very decent way, I would say, we have been doing whatever we need to. They escalate, we will escalate further. So ball is in their court to stop it and come onto the knees and tell India, we will seize terrorism. We are handing over all these Hafiz Saeed and Dawood Ibrahim and all these Jaish-e-Mohammed, you know, all these chiefs we are handing over, and no
Asim
more of
Munir.
terrorism, and we'll give you back your POK. Everything will be settled. We'll be too happy. Because our objective is not Pakistan people, our objective is the terrorists and the supporters of this terrorist organization, the Pak Army and the ISI. And when I say Pak Army, I mean to say their top generals.
So let's talk about the weapons used in the attack. We know that Pakistan's HQ-9 missile defense system units were hit by S-400 Sudarshan Chakra air defense systems. So, and we also used kamikaze drones. So how big of a loss is this financially for Pakistan? And also, what has India gained from this attack, you know, in terms of projection, in terms of the, projecting its capabilities?
So firstly, I'll talk about India.
Okay.
What have we gained? If you see in the last few years, the only countries who could target with drones precisely were United States and Israel.
Okay.
No other country.
So we have joined that league
We
now.
have joined that elite. And the world has witnessed the precision targeting. That has been the best. You heard a Pakistani, you know, YouTuber saying, कि बिल्कुल बेहतरीन अटैक किया, मतलब whole nation
100% successful.
and 100% successful, and no iota of doubt about the success, but no interception by Pakistan. Total fail. So India has achieved this. Our stature in the global community enhances further.
Okay.
We will be recognized. We are now. It further substantiates. We are recognized as a major military power in the world. And let me tell you, way back in 2008, we had conducted an exercise for all the defense attaches when I was posted as a colonel in the army headquarters. And that time I recollect, when the demonstration was over, we did a firepower demonstration.
Okay.
The Israeli DA, defense attaché, told me, he says, Colonel, that time I was colonel, he says, you are the most powerful army of the world. I reckon these statements he made. And the Pakistani, we didn't call him. Bangladesh defense attaché said, he said, sir, मान गए, इंडिया की ताकत कोई पंगा नहीं ले सकता है. ये 2008 की मैं बात बता रहा हूँ. Okay? So India has achieved everything, and what is the biggest achievement? Psychological impact on Pakistan people, and also
On the forces as well.
our neighbors. Yeah, forces of course. We have demoralized their armed forces.
Yes.
But more important than that is Afghans,
Yes.
Baluchis,
Sindh community.
Sindhis, your POK, these Kashmiris who know they are part of India. There are uprisings there. I got calls from some Afghans when I was the defense attaché in Afghanistan. I was there almost 3 years.
Okay.
So they told me, whole country is very happy. We are clapping, celebrating. And you know, they said, what word they used? They are dogs. They are wolves. And who made this statement? Wolves. Frontier Gandhi, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, when in Indian National Congress in
Yes,
partition
yes, the
agreed
Northwestern
to
Frontier.
partition. So since he was part of the INC, he told Prime Minister Nehru then, he was not the Prime Minister then, we had not got independence. He
Yes.
says, you have left us to the wolves to be eaten. These are his statements in black and white. Okay, so they are that.
Yes.
So we have achieved everything. Now coming on to Pakistan, shattered, battered, low morale. their defensive capability gone, offensive capability gone. Army's image has taken a beating in their very own country. Imagine the morale of the armed forces, and children of the army officers of Pakistan Army are tweeting on social media against their top leadership. And economy, you stated.
Yes.
Economy is a very, very important thing in support of the nation to run a war. War is not easy business. It's a business. So economically they are down. They have a foreign debt of $130 billion. They are looking for loan to IMF.
Yes.
Who will give loan to them now? And कब तक लेते रहेंगे? And China is not doing anything in free, or the Gulf Cooperation countries are also not doing anything free.
Yes, these are all loans.
They are all loans. So economically they are bankrupt. People are fed up. What do Pakistan people want? Economic prosperity, development, peace. Peace with India. Why not? We also want. That's what. थे तो ये हमारे लोग ना. थे तो ये हिंदुस्तानी ना.
True.
हिंदुस्तान का they were a part of us. But they have damaged the country. And look at where India has gone. We are now just on the verge of being the third largest economy in the world.
Exactly. Two countries which started at the same time.
Same time.
And the directions they've taken are completely divergent.
No, I would not say same time. Because we are a country, we are a civilization.
We're a civilization, yes.
They were created, artificially created. But the blood was same.
Yes.
Everything was same. But because they were focused on this religious thing, because they are created on this religious divide, and that is what has been their, gadda, going to the ditch.
So the reason Pakistan is in this condition right now is because there's a nexus that operates between Pakistan's ISI, the army, and terror groups. They go hand in hand. If you could explain to our viewers, how does this nexus work and operate in the country?
It's very important to understand one thing.
Okay.
Now, I didn't want to, when I was telling why they have resorted to terrorism. So, when I give this little historical background, answers will emanate. Pakistan conventional wars have failed.
Yes.
They are an opportunist nation, and they got the opportunity in 1979 when Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, yes. They supported the Mujahideens there.
So who supported Pakistan? Americans.
Yes.
That time Cold War rivalry was on. So their aim was to throw the Soviet Union, Soviets out from there. So they gave the money, they gave the weaponry, they gave Stinger missiles, everything. But whose manpower it was? Pakistan. And who was the army chief? And thereafter he became the president, General Zia-ul-Haq. And now I'll give you one very important thing. When I was defense attaché in Afghanistan, I met a Pashtun general.
Okay.
You know what he told me? He says when General Zia-ul-Haq was this is very important, and I think I should be speaking this more often. General Zia-ul-Haq called all his corps commanders. That time it used to be corps only.
Okay.
Now they have army commanders and all, corps commanders, and asked them how can we sort out India. He had a conference. So everyone talked the military angle, we will attack from here. He said nothing doing. He says radicalize Pakistan Army and the nation. Okay.
They chose the way of religion.
Yeah, radicalization. And the same army, during his time and before, they were being trained by Americans, so they were not radicalized. Suddenly they started keeping beer.
Okay.
Yeah, radicalization came. They were quite modern. They used to take liquor and all, everything. They will take liquor also, but not only.
Not publicly, maybe.
Yeah. So this was the backdrop, and therefore when the Soviet Union moved out in '89, okay.
Yes.
Zia-ul-Haq was the boss, and he knew these so many jihadis, all Pakistanis and the Afghanis he had taken. What will they do? So this was a strategic asset for them, and therefore he said, now I will use them for terrorism against India.
Like a total recipe for disaster.
This is how it happened. The start point is here. So all these people were thereafter directed to India, Kashmir.
Okay.
Now I was posted that time in 86 to 89 in Kupwara sector.
Okay.
And I recollect that time 86 onwards, some reports were there, the Pakistanis and myself, I was in a place known as Kupwara and of course Tangdhar and all.
Okay.
We apprehended about 40 kgs of explosive, which they were doing. So that time, insurgency does not start or terrorism does not start immediately. There's a known as a preparatory and a build-up stage.
Okay.
So
and these were the years which were the build-up
These were the years
stage.
of 86 to 89. They were doing the build-up gradually, and that time, another factor you have to see. 84 we had the Blue Star.
Yes.
This problem was also created by General Ziaul Haq. Okay, so many of the people from JNK, BSF was deployed in Kupwara sector. They were moved out to Amritsar.
Amritsar, yes.
Because they were, guarding the borders more in heavy strength.
Okay.
And my battalion, which came from Secunderabad that time, I was in 1st Mahar, and we were deployed in this Kupwara sector.
Okay.
So that time, this is what I apprehended myself as a young captain that time. So this was what was going on. So this was the build-up and the preparatory stage. There's a failure of intelligence, or perhaps no one ever thought कि ऐसा होगा.
Exactly.
So
that all these jihadist minds would be
and they were
diverted
coming,
here.
so explosives were coming, all these US-based items were coming, everything was coming, and they were then indoctrinating Kashmir. और उस समय Kashmir elections 86 में शायद हुए थे, उसमें भी कुछ गदर हुआ था between Farooq Abdullah and the Congress party. So that sent lot of resentment among the Kashmiris. So that also they exploited. So you had a very good situation, terrorists available in huge numbers,
Yes.
resentment among the Kashmiris of the outcome of these elections. I think it was 86 elections, and therefore everything was ripe. And 89 they started attacking everywhere in Kashmir. 89 they started. So why? Now who is involved? Who is the brain behind? The army chief.
Yes.
So his role comes. What does this require? DG ISI. So ISI's role come, and who's ISI? All are top army generals, lieutenant generals, and the third commodity is the terrorist. So they then organize the terrorists into various.
This is how the nexus developed.
So धीरे धीरे ये कोई जैश-ए-मोहम्मद बन गया, कोई ये बन गया. So this is how. So they created number of this thing. अच्छा, they also didn't want all of them to be united. This is also another fact. Because if you just have all terrorists as one, tomorrow the same terrorists can dislodge them.
True.
So therefore they divided them into so many splinter groups.
Yeah, operating from different pockets.
Okay. हिजबुल मुजाहिदीन, तो जैश-ए-मोहम्मद, जमातुल दावा, LET, धीरे धीरे
Lashkar-e-Taiba, yes.
तो वो आपस में उनके हैं, but coordination was there कि some training here and everything there. So this is how the nexus, and that same nexus continues. So who's the nerve center? The Pakistan Army chief.
Yes.
And the ISI does the groundwork, the concept and the strategy given by the chief, groundwork, the planning and execution done by ISI, and the so-called groups are used, and this is how they've been operating in India.
Alright, sir. Now you've clearly established that Pakistan Army is the one behind all of these escalations, all of the attacks that are happening. You know, they are the ones calling the shots. It's not the government in Islamabad. I want to ask you that we've been told that this Pahalgam attack that took place on 22nd of April, it was a diversion because the army in the country is currently going through a very bad time. As you've mentioned, you have Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, you have instability on the western border, you have also Balochistan crisis. How would you describe the situation of army right now, and also do you think there could be a rebellion within the army?
Yes, very true. Rebellion, 100% it will be there. I have no doubts. But coming on to the question proper, see, Pakistan, you said it was a diversionary.
Yes.
He had two objectives. One objective was, yes, diversionary, to divert the attention of his people, because Pakistan Army under Asim Munir's leadership was getting badly bruised and hit in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa by
We've seen
Afghan
so many
Taliban
attacks in
and
the past
by
few years.
TTP. And I think this is the first time in the history of the world a train hijacked.
Yes,
And,
the Jaffa Express.
and you know, they took those the Pakistani soldiers
Yes.
and slaughtered them, and thereafter again there was a
They did not
attack.
even reveal the numbers.
Yeah, so Pakistan. Now you imagine the plight of a soldier. He knows कि nation is not worried about me, and whose nation there? The Pak Army.
Yes.
So they have hid the numbers and everything they have hid. So one was to hide his incompetence of leadership. So therefore it was a diversionary. If we strike India, so whole country will get that jingoistic thing and India enemy and and Indians, they call us as kafirs.
Yes.
They do not know that our Muslim population is much larger than theirs.
Yes.
Okay, so they thought, and the second, his purpose was divide India with this statement of 16th April and the attack on 22nd April, because both were religious oriented. They identified Hindus. So this was a strategy. 2, diversion from home, these problems, incompetence leadership to hide it.
Yes.
And hoping that the country will be united, and also targeting India on this basis, on religious lines, so that there are Hindu-Muslim rights or communal rights in India, and therefore India will be politically in turmoil. It happened ulta both ways.
Exactly, it backfired for them.
It backfired. Both has backfired.
Indians got united and Pakistanis
And
got
Pakistan
divided. They started rebelling.
Pakistans have now got united. The people have got united not against India. They have united against Munir. Okay, so it's backfired, and therefore I made that statement earlier. Now, if you go back, कि Munir may be dislodged.
Yes.
By his own
He started
people.
with this.
Okay.
Okay, so now I want to go a little back to the Operation Sindoor that you mentioned. We hit the nerve centers of terrorism. We took out in Retd the operational headquarters of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed. How do you look at that attack itself? Because we've not had an attack like that. It was unprecedented, right? How do you look at that?
The attack in Pahalgam.
No, the attack that we carried out against terror hubs.
I would say it's 100% a brilliant maneuver, a brilliant attack. And I would say why. In war, you have something known as shaping the battlefield.
Okay.
You prepare the battlefield so that the enemy is hit from all possible directions. This time the shaping of the battlefield has started at the highest level in India by the Prime Minister of India, by the political leadership. And I'll give you substantiate it. How political leadership. Prime Minister of India spoke to all top world leaders.
Yes, they were informed.
They not no. I'm not talking about this attack. I'm talking about after Pahalgam.
Okay. Yes.
So it's a strategic thing which I'm trying to highlight. So what did this do? World leaders were apprised. This is what has happened, and therefore the world was in support of Prime Minister of India and the country.
Yes.
That is what we do. So this is known as political maneuvering. Second was diplomatic maneuvering. We went to the United Nations. Today you heard in the Foreign Secretary was also mentioning कि Pakistan,
the TRF statement. They tried to wipe out the name.
We did a successful, political, I would say, diplomatic maneuvers.
Yes, we also called envoys of different countries, informed them, gave them evidence.
Absolutely, we called all envoys. Again, we spoke to all the people in the world at the diplomatic level and prepared. So this is preparing the battlefield.
The setting of
also known as perception management.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Because optics matter.
So yes, so the world support is very, very important. Now you take back your mind earlier. Pakistan would be supported by United States.
Yes.
And so many other countries, including OIC countries and Arab countries.
Yes.
So changed. So next was of economic attack or offensive.
Yes.
Or I would say a maneuver. What was that? 2. One was the Indus Water Treaty, holding it in abeyance. Indus Water Treaty, the best fallout was Pakistan went in jitters the same day. Bilawal Bhutto said, we will bleed India to death and
either water will flow or the blood of Indians.
And the blood of Indians will flow and all nonsense. They were jitter. So a solid maneuver. And let me tell you, I myself felt so happy because when I was commanding my battalion in Rajouri, way back in 2003, one of my jawans has twittered and someone sent it to me.
Okay.
Imagine he was a sipahi, he is written कि Colonel Meston साहब जब CO थे, he had told us in a lecture that India must scrap off this Indus Water Treaty, and he remembered that, and this is of 2003 and he tweeted it. Okay, I was stunned. and some jawan only sent it to me कि देखो एक जवान को ये याद था. So I felt very happy that this was a bold maneuver. So this was also maneuver.
Like
Maneuver
this had
means,
to be done.
Maneuver means you do an action to place yourself in a advantage and dominate the enemy. So
Okay.
this was all maneuver. So that sent jitters. Next was this cutting of all trade
Yes.
with Pakistan. Anything, kuch nahi. Even through
Not through a third country
through
also.
third country also.
Yes.
Finished. Now what happens with all this is, war does not start ki just the army goes. You have to prepare. So this was the preparation which is shaping the battlefield.
Yes, on all the fronts,
So
economic,
what-
political,
yeah,
diplomatic.
absolutely. So what was the end result? And I've used it in many of the channels. This was strategic strangulation of Pakistan. Strangulation means आपने उसका गला घोंट दिया.
Yes.
अभी तो offensive हुआ नहीं है. Now on its western borders also, Pakistan is facing its problems. Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and TTP and Afghan Taliban. So in that area there this thing. Internal rebellion is there. Nawaz Sharif's statement to his brother, don't take panga with India.
Exactly.
Okay. So all this is shaping up the environment and it was done beautifully. And then Prime Minister did the next thing, announced कि now we'll do and given full leverage to the armed forces.
Complete
And thereafter he
operational
met
control.
people and had meetings and it was shown on the TV. You know, we meeting the service chiefs, the CDS.
Yes,
then,
every meeting.
then individual chiefs. Now imagine the plight of Munir. क्या हो क्या रहा है? And suddenly we struck.
Yes.
Achha, and the beauty is we also talked about that, there's drills.
Yes,
these mock,
all of us were waiting for the drills to
yeah.
happen and
so everyone
attack
thought
took
ki it
place.
will be after this.
Yes.
And it happened just before that. So this is also part of, I would say,
The
surprise
surprise.
and deception. So it was done so beautifully. So the question is, the answer to all this is, this gave lot of impetus to army to prepare. Because you have to prepare. So targets should have been identified. Our intelligence inputs had already, the details over the camps were known, but specific details were who all would be there when.
Exactly,
So
to
the
be precise.
So the feeling they got is perhaps we will not do it because we do not have the capability, and you have seen Lahore and Buritke and all, they had put air defense system.
Yes.
So we ripped it apart. And another beautiful thing is the world should follow the example that everything was going on simultaneously, everything, and no collateral damage has taken place. And Pakistan has always been on a denial mode. So the people of Pakistan were taking videos and
Yes.
putting it on social media.
No question of proof this
So
time.
no proof was required. So they had no choice but to acknowledge it. So this has been a brilliant military operation, and I would say a whole of nation approach. This is how warfare is shaped. Now you see Russia-Ukraine war and Israel-Hamas war. So many things were missing what we have done.
Exactly. Sir, last question to you, because you've mentioned so many things and you have seen so many wars as well. The country right now is on high alert. We have army on the border. We are also having civil mock drills, first time since 1971. Your one message to the countrymen as somebody who's been part of Indian Army.
Message to the countrymen, Ishita, is very, very clear. India is strong. We are a major military power. Our political will is one. We have got a national resolve. People across India are united, and we should not fall into the Pakistani trap of doing this Hindu-Muslim. We are Indians. We should take pride as Indians. No one should have fear in this country. So that is the message. And have faith in the armed forces. Have faith in the country. Army only requires one thing: respect, honor and support of the people of India. Respect the armed forces, honor them, support them, and the army will deliver it. The armed forces will deliver. And as far as any fears from Pakistan are concerned, maybe and one odd missile can land anywhere. So be prepared, be on the guard. It happened in Israel recently, one Houthi missile just landed in the airport, so we cannot rule out.
Yes.
So yeah, another important message is, you are the eyes and ears of this country. You are the center of gravity. if people of India are alert 24/7, so any Pakistani pro-sympathizer
Yes.
or sleeper cells, you all are the people who will come to know first. And how? You are in a village, you are in a township, you see some person for the first time making unusual activity, doing something repeatedly, so that is a recce. So be on the lookout, and if you see something, report to the nearest police station, and if you don't have faith there, you can, I think the government of India should highlight some numbers of any anti-national activity observed by anyone. It can be informed in that number, and his confidentiality should be maintained, because
Yes.
people have little fear of some consequences of reporting. And beyond this, don't be scared at all. Be on the guard. It's a nation's resolve. This time we shall finish terrorism once and for all. And when finishing terrorism is being finishing the fountainhead of this terrorism, and that is the top leadership of the Pakistan Army and the top leadership of the Pakistan ISI.
All right, very strong and clear message coming to you from Major General Sanjay Meston here on India Today Global. Thank you so much, General, for speaking to us, explaining us the situation. Where does the tension stand between India and Pakistan, and the direction these escalations could take in the future? So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ishita.
Thank you so much. And viewers, stay tuned to India Today Global, where we bring you the latest from around the globe.